People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal's under 23's drew with their Liverpool counterparts 2-2, and I mean, it was a decent game. I feel, we'll get onto it, but I feel Liverpool have already made vids. They've got a special player in Curtis Jones. I think he's serious. I can't remember their number 10's name. I'll probably do a video on him, but their number 10 was decent. I mean, if you're at Liverpool, you've got to be a half-decent player. I think they're young. That Dutch lad that they've just signed, is it Van den Berg or something? He looked decent as well in the game, playing out from the back. I think our players look well. Nice to see Greenwood getting 23 minutes. Obviously, he didn't get significant minutes, and he's called up as a result of probably, I don't know the length or the extent of Tyrese John Jules' injury, but from what you read online, apparently he's picked up a knock. Hopefully he's back and he can be involved in some capacity on Thursday in the Europa League or beyond that, because we want to see our young players play. And obviously we want to see him fit and everybody fit. And without knowing how severe his injury is, I wish you all the best in terms of a recovery, Tyrese. But going into the game, you know what it is, people. I mean, 23's level for me is a graveyard. You don't really learn anything. So if nothing more than that, just in terms of it, if I'm an Arsenal 23's player here, Liverpool, I'm going to think, you man think you're better than me. So we're going to put in an intense sort of battle. I don't feel it was that sort of heated clash. I mean, as heated it got, I think Burton fouled. Burton was lucky. I don't even know if he got yellow card, but Burton lashed out at a Liverpool lad just before half time. And then there was a bit of handbags and whatnot, half-hearted handbags. But apart from that, nah. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot. I think Liverpool played well. I think how Liverpool got their first goal, they gave warning signs. Curtis Jones down that left-hand side gave Bellerin, for at least the first 20-30 minutes in the first half, a lot to think about. Curtis Jones, for me, obviously breaking through at Liverpool is tough and getting minutes is tough, but for me 23's football is doing him injustice. Like, you lot know he plays for Liverpool and I'm trying to keep it balanced, but to me he's a terrific baller, people. He can play in the 10. He probably right now the left hand side is where he's most comfortable. The man's got so much technical quality. He can skill you up down the flank, he can come inside, and he was presenting us a lot of issues. Do you know how many half chances and whatnot before they scored Jones was a part of? And it was always coming. For me, it felt like the goal was coming down our left hand side. Whether they targeted that because Bellerin's not fully fit, I don't know, but I think Curtis Jones gave Bellerin a lot to think about. And his goal, he taps home. He's unmarked and he taps home, people. He tapped home an unmarked goal because, yeah, look, I thought to a degree it was a bit offside, but I'm always going to say that he's unmarked. They go 1-0 ahead, and well, both teams are playing well. Both teams are having a go of it, and I feel both teams are definitely up for it. But they deserve it. We ain't taking our chance. You ain't really done anything of significance, people. Really and truly, we were given warnings, people. Down the left, we was giving issues, and I like to see McNeff. There was one moment he looked like, is it McNeff? I think it was from where I was sitting, but it looked like he got vexed because Jones skilled up someone and he got vexed and fouled him. I like to see that, people. There was a shot saved off the line as well at a point as well, which was dangerous. Oh, sorry, people, ignore that. I said that in my other vid. The under 18s, ignore that. But it did look like they were going to add more goals, and it did look like Liverpool were going to score down the left hand side, and it obviously wasn't directly down the left hand side, but it was Curtis Jones who looked up for this game, people. He really looked up for it. They scored. They before they made it 2-0, if Curtis Jones was a couple inches bigger, his foot would have got on the end of a lovely drilled pass in the area, and it would have been 2-0 then. The warning signs were there, people. He made it. Curtis Jones, the man of the moment, made it 2-0 to Liverpool shortly after. It's a header. It's not really a thumping header, but it's a header. I do think Bellerin can again do better. It actually all initially comes from Bellerin's clearance. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just have a duty to tell you what I saw with my eyes, people. So it's 2-0 and we've got a mountain to climb. 2-0 is a dangerous lead in football for Liverpool, but for us, we've shot ourselves in the foot. 2 silly goals to concede, really and truly, beyond how good Curtis Jones, in my opinion, has been, and Liverpool have been okay knocking the ball about. Shot ourselves in the foot. The only saving grace is that we quickly made it 2-1, people. It wasn't Emil Smith, bro. It was definitely Tormey. This is why I hate going to watch the games, because you can barely see things. Just like I said, it was Nathan Tormey. He scored in the 41st minute, just before half time. Liverpool are putting together good moves, but we caught Liverpool on their counter attack, and I do believe it's a quick pass from Matt Smith. He plays it into Bellerin or something like that. Bellerin played it back to him, or I think it might have been Bellerin just played it into Matt Smith, and it's knocked over to Tormey. Nathan Tormey had a lot to do. It's a good finish. He carries it in his stride and he puts it home. It's 2-1, 4 minutes before half time. He's given us something to get away with, and it's not going to change Steve Bowles' half time team talk, people, but it's giving us a lot to think about. Obviously, I think Zach Clark came off at half time. Did Zach Clark came off? I'm sure Clark came off. I could be wrong on that, but I'm sure Clark came off at half time, people. I'm sure Clark never played in the second half. I don't know if he's injured or whatnot, but it was decent. He was playing decent in the minutes he got, really and truly, people. Lewis Longstaff played alright as well for Liverpool. Because I'm looking at my notes now, people. Lewis Longstaff is his name, and he played well. I've mentioned Van Domberg. Herbie Kane played well, but I mean, he's past this level. He should be out on loan somewhere. Brewster started and didn't really do anything. Curtis Jones, for me, the man of the moment. Whoever looked decent, I'll give him that. So yeah, we're 2-1. It's 2-1, and we have something, I guess, something to kind of get behind, something to do. I will say this, for as much as I do believe Bellerin was struggling in the initial periods, when he was going forward, he put in a number of crosses that you could see it was going to be a typical Hector Bellerin sort of finish. There were them sort of moments, and he obviously got it right for Bellerin early on in the second half, well, 20 or so minutes into the second half, to make it 2-2. We obviously walk away with a point after going 2-0 down and conceding 2 goals in 8 minutes when Curtis Jones struck his finish. But it's all about how you start games, people. This is the learning period. These boys got to learn, potentially, could we have done things differently to get another result? We came second in this league last season. I'm not sure of the league period, where the league table is now, but we're trying to compete against a strong Everton side, so we're going to need to stop. We've had good, I feel, watching the under 23 so far this season, we have conceded a few cheap goals, so we've probably got to work on that on the training ground, but it is what it is. We live to fight another day, people. Like I said, congratulations to Sam Greenwood for getting some sort of minutes. Hopefully it's more significant minutes, because I don't know the length of Tyrese John Jules' injury, but it's sad to see he's out. Bellingen's there and doing his thing, but Eddie's not. So there's an opportunity there for another young striker to take the chances. And I like Greenwood, as you know. He can play in what I describe as the front 4 positions. He can play on either flank, through the middle, or I actually love him in that 10 role. But it's down to the manager, and it's down to Greenwood of sorts to kind of make Bold feel it's impossible to leave him out. I do think a Jaya Bonner, I can't say his name, Dixon Bonner, I believe, he played alright in the midfield as well, just kept things ticking, and he might have even been the one to start the handbags with Bellerin. I can't even remember, but there's not much more to say, man. It was a good game. Both teams can leave with a lot of positives, but also negatives as to what they could have done better. If Arsenal potentially started the game differently, could we have taken 3 points? Liverpool, at the end of the day, they scored 2 goals in 8 minutes, were 2-0 ahead, and they've walked away with 1 point. There's always something to learn from. If these lot are going to be professional footballers, they've got to learn to see out leads and all of these sort of things there. I've got nothing more to say or add, so on that note, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking each and every time.